Beautiful day, Patriots. How are you? We're going to continue with our studies of is it political or is it biblical? Anything that's evil, anything that's, with Satan is biblical. This book is discussing how to stay out of Satan's traps. And throughout this whole Bible, who put Jesus to death? It was the scribes and the Pharisees and the scholars, correct? Holy people talked the populace into mind control that they would rather have a murderer amongst them than Jesus Christ, who was there to teach and save their souls. Right? It wasn't the people that put him to death. Jesus Christ was put to death legally. He was tried by a court. The court found him guilty, but the people rebelled when they were heard the verdict that Pontius Pilate did not want to put Jesus to death. But the people revolted, and Pontius Pilate wanted to keep his power, so he did what the people wanted instead of what was best for the people. Is that just my interpretation? I don't know. Kind of how it's spelt out here in this Bible. Now, we're talking about, are politics biblical? The Q movement wants everybody to believe that it is biblical, but yet it discusses only politics. Right? It doesn't never, ever, ever talk about Jesus Christ. There is some time where it does talk about Jesus Christ, but it's got the F word in front of it. Let's see, what else have we got going on here? Okay, so what we're doing is we're using etymology and looking at our political leaders, and we're wondering if they mock us in our faces. Now, when President Barack Obama came into office, I really couldn't believe it, because the time and era in America, we had just gone through a terrorist attack, as the story goes, in New York. We lost thousands of lives. The media is blaming it on a Muslim and the Middle East. And somehow out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, no political real history, this man comes up out of nowhere and is running for office with a Middle Eastern name. And I couldn't quite wrap my head around it back then. I'm like, how are people voting for a Muslim Barack Obama? It's not an American name. Made no sense to me. Now, granted, I liked the fact that he was of color, so that we could have the race division being knocked down, but it did just the absolute opposite. It just caused more race and division with his help, Barack Obama's help. I mean, he did not try to... Well, the politics, it keeps the division going. It just kept the division going, and he did a great job of doing that. So when I saw that he was running for office, I thought it was a great, big, huge joke. It made no sense to me. So now let's go ahead and look at Mr. Barack Obama's name. Yes? And we can see that if we split his name in two, just 50-50 it would be Bar-Ak. Bar-Ak. If I'm not mistaken, is act kind of like that word they use in cartoons when somebody's trying to like, bleh, bleh, like kind of, bleh. Is that how that's spelled? Maybe. But anyways, that's in the dictionary. A-C-K. That's in the dictionary, so we'll get to that in a minute. Bar. bar. Everybody knows what a bar is, right? It's a bar, you know, a metal bar, a drinking bar. You know, we all know what that is, right? But did you know there is another meaning for bar? Probably you guys do. I'm not one of the smartest people, so I have to look at things like this and learn. So if you already know this, I apologize that if you already know that the word bar also means that if we look right here in the dictionary, the sixth definition of bar right here is practical joke. An amusing situation. Practical joke. So far, I'm just saying so far, we can be talking about a practical joke by looking at Barack Obama's name. If we just split his name in half and look at bar, I'm just saying the first part of his name is joke, practical joke. And if we go and look at the second part of his name, ack, right? I mean, that's what it was. Barak. And if we look here, we can see that there is ACK. And if we look at what this is an abbreviation for, it's acknowledgement. So if we look at Barack's first name, his first name, it could be read as practical joke acknowledged. Let's look at his second name. Obama. I'm not saying it is this way. I'm just saying it could be broken down this way. O could be also a number maybe. What if it was 0? What if Obama was 0? A 0. O. A is the first letter in our alphabet, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. 1. O-N-E. 1. 0, 1. What's in the middle? Bam. Should we go look and see what the word bam means? What do you guys think? Should we do that? You guys might already know because it just is like what you bang something, make a noise, bam, right? No big deal. Maybe you guys know a few other terms for bam. I'm not sure. But I do find it funny that there is the word bam right down here. And the first definition is fool, hoax. So, if bam is a fool or hoax, then if there was witches and witchcraft being done in politics, and the devil's scheme is to cast spells, and if we as Americans have no clue how etymology and the English language actually works, because it is a new language, we might be saying words and not having a clue what they mean. I'm not saying that Barack Obama's name, there's rumor that this isn't his real name, that this name was given to him. Let's see, I barely remember. I can barely remember what his real name was, as that people might say. But we're just looking at Barack Obama, and if we look at Barack Obama's name, his name could be practical joke acknowledged, 0 hoax 1, 0 fool 1. Oh, fool 1. Oh, you foolish ones.